Hello. I would like to tell you some stories today. Back in 1967, a new TV show, Dragnet, used this opening. The story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. Well, my stories are also true, and I do not name any names either. These stories are about my passion for motorcycles. In the late 1950s, when I was about 10 years old, I saw my first motorcycle, or something like one. It was called a tote goat. This picture shows what they looked like. They used a Briggs & Stratton engine and a lot of gearing to allow them to drive in the mountains. You could strap your game or carry stuff on the back. I was too young and poor to ever own one, but it started my two-wheel passion, and I did get a ride on one from a neighbor once. When I was first hired by a city police department, I had the opportunity to acquire some motorcycles. My wife liked to drive one also, so we both got Honda 125s. This story will be about a Honda 350 I purchased from the same dealer I bought the two 125s from. While doing so, we talked, became friends, and started riding together. We both loved mountain climbing with our bikes. Basically, we would go as fast and as far up a mountain hill as we could go. Then we laid down the bike and tried not to kill ourselves getting back down to do it all over again. It was hard on the bikes, but lots of fun. The 350 was named the Thumper because it was a single cylinder and vibrated a lot at high speeds. I drove it from one state to another once, and I can say that was true. The 350 was stolen from me while it was parked where we lived in an apartment complex. I was a police officer and I knew how overloaded the detective division was, so I started my own investigation. I figured it had to be kids, and probably someone who lived close to me and saw where I parked it. I talked to motorcycle dealers and found out what kids would hang around their dealerships but not buy a bike. I learned about some teens that sounded like a good prospect. I questioned around and found out where they usually went riding in the woods. I then went there and found my motorcycle. It was a wreck, beyond fixing. I arrested the teens and they ended up in the juvenile court system. The court did get me some restitution, but not enough to replace my Thumper. And it pretty well ended my hill climbing. After that, I started buying street bikes. During the 1970s, we tried several bikes. One of the first street bikes was a 500cc model. We found out it didn't have the power to carry two people at freeway speeds in a headwind. We traded it and tried a 750, but that had the same problems, although it was better. So we traded up to a 1000cc. I believe it was one of the first Goldwing editions. It didn't come with any fairings or bags, so we just purchased them and I installed them. It was a really nice bike and it met our needs very well. But we became involved in the process of buying and helping to build a new home. So we put it up for sale and a doctor purchased it. I saw him later and asked him how the bike was. He loved it also. We have had several others over the years, including a Yamaha 1000 that could go from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. I took my children on several overnight camping rides on that bike. I gave it to my son and went back to a Honda. In 1999, we purchased our last motorcycle, a Goldwing 1500. We still have it. We have ridden it in almost every state west of the Dakotas and even up into Canada. My son rode it once to Indiana. I'm going to post some of our pictures while I talk about our favorite destinations and trips we keep repeating. Down the California coast is a wonderful ride. It includes the Hearst Castle, California's redwoods, Yosemite, Joshua Tree and Death Valley are all others we have visited several times. Southern Colorado is another favorite, especially if you are familiar with C.W. McCall music. We have ridden the train from Durango up to Silverton 3 times and ridden our motorcycles up as well. While we are in the Durango area, we sometimes stop for a Bar D Wrangler's evening of music. I say we because I rode with friends and about half of the time with my wife. Another favorite ride is any of the Red Rock areas in southern Utah. The whole southern half of the state is scenic, and a little lower is the Grand Canyon and all the Arizona attractions. Northern Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana have beautiful mountain roads, and we like to camp in Cody. We have driven through Yellowstone Park probably 20 times over the years. Before COVID, we attended the Bar J Wranglers by Jackson Hole almost every year for 15 years, often on our bikes. I'm sorry to say that this year will probably be their last one. The Goldwing has about 50,000 miles of pure pleasure on it now. It's dinged up and shows its age, but I still love it. I'm 73 now, but I want to ride until I die. Well, those are my stories today. Thank you for your time.